the DXY, things are still looking moderately bearish in terms of hanging on to that 107,500 area on the weekly chart. It doesn't look like price is seeing a break of that just yet. I know it's only midweek. A lot of things can change, but because of Thanksgiving on Thursday, they're probably going to have a slow Friday as well. I don't see the momentum unless it comes today. I don't see that bullish momentum breaking through that level, at least for this week anyway. Maybe next week something else. And then we've got NFP on next week Friday, so that could be interesting. But at the moment, it looks like price is still doing a pretty good job at holding onto this high. And although we did see, am I on the right one? No. And although we did see a close above the high here, it's not convincing. It's not something that I would be looking at breakouts myself. I want to see some really strong, convincing closes above that area. As you can see, it's not really getting that. And of course, this week is looking pretty bearish. Like I said, it's only midweek. That candle could look different by Friday. Probably will look different by Friday. But so far, it does look like momentum is fading at the highs. And the market's pretty stretched anyway. So a pullback is definitely needed. And rejecting that level could be the area that does give us that pullback we're looking for. So dropping down in the 4H chart, I've been speaking about this potential head and shoulder pattern. That looks like it's slowly coming into play. I still do want to see a bit more weakness for USD, preferably a break of structure as well be really great. And then the corrections and the continuations will look good. So like some longs on Euro, longs maybe and ends the USD as well will look good. And if we can get that right shoulder, there probably is going to be a big drop there for the DXY because, like I said, hitting a big level, range high, 2-year range high, really. So if we are going to sell off from here, we could go a long way down. I was speaking about this area a couple of weeks back, never got the retest. Potentially now is the time to go and get it if we do see that continuation maybe this afternoon. So USD, I'm still kind of looking for a bearish bias. I'm not really looking to trade any USD pairs this week, to be honest. So it's not really something I'm focused on myself, but if we do see a strong break of structure that takes out this low, that would make me interested in some pullbacks and some shorts, and of course longs and some of the USD majors. But at the moment in time, it looks like we are slowly getting that head and shoulder pattern, which means price is failing to break 107, which then means I'm expecting a lot more downside. So push back to the high here, 105.3 is a real possibility. Even this area here as well, around 104.6 is a possibility too. So keep an eye on some downside there for the DXY. Switching over to Euro, we're seeing pretty much the inverse of that. Again, still haven't really seen much momentum with Euro. All this week is pretty much just consolidation. So it's been a little bit of a slow one. But if we can see a push to the upside, some momentum, again, breaking through that high, I think there could be some really nice long opportunities. Again, just basically inverse of the dollar. We got the left shoulder over here, the head, and of course the right shoulder. And again, you can see where we're trading. The location of it is trading at a very pivotal swing low in the weekly chart, which of course lines up very well with the DXY too. So if we are going to bounce, this is the area we're going to bounce from most likely. Of course, price may break out, and if it does, I'll reanalyze and switch my bias and talk about opportunities to the downside. But we're not doing that just yet. Market's respecting that low. So at the moment, I am looking for a bounce to the upside. And if we can get a strong move like that, especially breaking through the high here, just above 1.06, I think the pullbacks afterwards will look really, really good. And again, similar to the DXY, targets back at this low here, potentially even this low here at 1.08, which we spoke about a lot yesterday, about the median of the range. So if I go to the weekly chart, if you look at this as a massive range, and the highs there-ish and the lows here, around 1.08 is the middle of the range of that. And of course, you can just use the Fibonacci, and it pretty much lines up with the 50%. So there's a good chance we could see a push into the 1.08 if we do bounce at that low as well. So there's a lot of upside potential for Euro and some buying opportunities, but development is needed. I wouldn't be looking to buy just yet, but it looks like we're on that direction, on that path. In terms of pound USD, of course, pound USD similar pair to Euro USD. If Euro is going to bounce, pound's going to bounce 9 times out of 10 as well. But again, I'm more interested with the shorts with pound USD. I did talk about some sells and the retest of this area this week, which had some nice reactions earlier on. Monday, nice reaction. We filled the gap to the downside. Didn't quite get to the lows, but nice bounce nonetheless. If you're on the intraday time frames, probably still held a nice short there. And again, we did have nice reaction as well yesterday as well. I wouldn't bet on that level again because number one, the market's still stretched. USD looks like it's losing some strength as well, which means pound USD might push up. So yeah, I wouldn't be looking to advocate for more sales in pound. If we were going to reject this level and continue, I would expect us to have fallen by now and taken up these lows. The fact that we keep coming back to that same level is a sign that probably we're going to see a break above that. The area I'm still interested in with pound USD is still this level over here. I still do like this level for a short. Again, I did say I don't think price is going to get here, but if we do see a bit of weakness for USD, potentially next week, we could be actually trading near enough those areas. So I wouldn't write off that opportunity completely. I still think it's a really nice short opportunity. Again, with pound USD on the daily chart, I still think there's some more downside back into the low here, especially with all the momentum we've seen over the past few weeks. And a correction to this area looks really, really good for a short. As I said yesterday as well, key structure has been broken, swing low there as well, taken out, swing low there, taken out, swing low here, taken out. So price has been taken out, very, very important lows on the way down. So support has just been void and the market has not respected it at all. Therefore, on a pullback, there's a good chance we can find resistance and continue that trend, especially with momentum that we've seen recently as well. So if we can get that pullback, we'll be looking for some shorts, and that's still the opportunity I'm eyeing up for pound. In terms of Aussie dollar, this one bit sideways, I think. Yeah. So we had that double top early in the week. Really nice opportunity for a short. We came back into the low. Again, in terms of intraday trade, that would have been a nice place to short from. Now price is respecting the low there a little bit. I wouldn't say there's much to do. As I've said, I still do expect Aussie dollar to hit this level before we do see a major bounce. But in terms of trading, that opportunity is difficult now. The shorts look good early in the week and even last week as well. Now that price is respecting support, I wouldn't be jumping into shorts and I wouldn't be looking to long yet either until we get there. So for me, Aussie dollar is a little bit in limbo right now. Neither trading at a great area to short from and neither trading at a great area to long from. And even if we were to get back to that resistance, similar to pound USD, I wouldn't be looking to short again for a third time, just because I would have expected us to break through that low now. If we get back there a third time, we might see a reaction, but we probably will see a bigger push to the upside at that point. So I'd watch out for that. It's a bit more range play than anything. I do like the buys, however. If we were to see a break to the downside and get to 0.64, I think that could open up the door to some really nice long opportunities. Because again, the market's still pretty stretched, coming back into a major swing low. We probably are going to see a bounce here. It might not continue all the way back to the highs there, but again, we're probably likely to see a bounce. And we've got this low here to contend with as well. If that first area doesn't hold, this area could give us the bounce similar to what the USD is doing, which it broke through that first level. But as you can see, it's having a really nice reaction at that second. So the first level here, we broke through. Second area here, we just about tapped into it. And now we're having a really strong reaction this morning. But NZD news had a big part to play in that. But nonetheless, price is looking pretty bullish now. So again, with NZD, you can see how corrected the market is, very descending in manner, which is a characteristic of a market that is likely going to break to the upside. So I do expect this to push on. In terms of finding opportunities to trade it, that's where it becomes a bit difficult. I wouldn't want to be looking to buy the market now because we're coming into the up end of the channel. We've just had a reaction off that low. Stop loss placement is going to be very, very tricky. You could put a stop loss underneath here, but your stop loss is just going to be very big and you're going to need a big move to hit a decent risk reward. So I would want to at least see a double bottom there to even contemplate a buy. And then we can talk about some entries to take it up again. In terms of areas where we can target, I would be a little bit careful. So I'll be looking at kind of these swing highs here as targets. I think if you can get an entry down there, you're looking at healthy risk reward anyway for NZD/USD. So that's still an opportunity which I do like. Still expecting a bounce for NZD/USD, but looking already very, very bullish. And maybe we might not see that retest, but if we do, keep an eye on that. USD CAD, of course, has been very bullish as well. being moved to the upside. We're slowly coming back down. But the key thing for me on dollar CAD is what we're doing in relation to this weekly level. Price is still holding above it. So to me, this is looking like a break and retest. I want to see a bit more momentum. If this candle can close up there, that'll be a really strong sign going to next week that, we really have broken through this level and we're likely to continue. If we do leave a big wick to the upside, it still becomes a little bit because if we see next week's candle close right back below, then that just becomes a big fake out, and then I'll be very, very short biased with dollar CAD for the remainder of the year potentially. So yeah, dollar CAD is still in that limbo, still need to see a bit more momentum. I think the short-term opportunities on the low time frame still look good because we're still seeing a lot of momentum, still seeing higher highs and higher lows pretty consistently. So as we said last week, the breaking test of this level looked good. Nice push to the upside. I think retest of this area here looked equally as good as well for a buy. Again, I would be a little bit cautious, not trying to shoot for the moon. If you get a trade back to the high, I think that'll be a great trade. But I'd also look at potentially this high on the left as well as maybe a target to lock in some gains on the way up to the high. But overall, dollar CAD still pushing to the upside. I like the bullish structure. And I think this is a nice place to be looking for some buys as well, around 1.4, big psychological level 2. Then, of course, you got your lovely gold and silver. Last time I checked, gold's looking a little bit bullish. It's coming back into this area, which was the area I said I'll be looking to buy from this week. Looks like we're coming back into that level as resistance. Haven't seen much momentum since the drop early on this week. Price was respected that low pretty well. We have seen a nice push, but I want this to kind of continue a little bit further and look for some opportunities on the retest of that same area. That really was the level I was going to focus on this week, and it still is, but I want price to be trading above that. Overall, I'm still just about bullish on gold. It's not really the best market trade anymore for me anyway, so I'm not really actively looking to take buys, to be honest. The buys earlier in the week, if you saw the retest of that level, would have looked good, but because of all that bearish momentum has definitely skewed things for me. In terms of silver, I'm bullish as well. It looks like it's still having a bounce at that same area, which I bought from a couple of weeks back. Again, like I said, I want to see some more upside for this one before I look to get back into any trades. I want to see some evidence of a bullish trend forming, some higher highs and higher lows. We did break structure over here, which was nice, but we haven't really seen much momentum since that. So if we are going to continue to the upside, I want price to remain in that bullish structure, giving more higher highs and higher lows. And then I'll be looking for some pullbacks at some point as well for a trade. So yeah, very bullish on silver still, bullish on gold still, at least focusing on the technicals anyway. But yeah, just don't have an opportunity to trade them at the moment, or a good one at least. I know price is coming back into the same area which I bought from a couple of weeks back. It's not looking as good anymore, so I'm not interested to jump in. But if we see something like this, that would make me interested. But as I said earlier, I'm not really looking to trade the USD pairs this week.